Shalom, shalom, fallen Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. It's doing something out here that I think people in California should learn about. It's called rain. It's when water falls from the sky. When it's in its due season, the Bible says that's from Yah. It's amazing, man. Anyways, let's add that in there. Being that I am from California, well, today's video is a scenario video, and it's number 2. Today's scenario video, again, you operate from where you are right now. It's the whole point of these videos. The whole point of these videos is not for you to pontificate about what you might possibly do. It's to answer based on where you are right now, where your finances are right now, where your life is right now. Don't say, well, I'm going to go and try to find a friend and stay on his property. No, you can't do that, because do you know that friend right now? Have you talked to him right now? So let's try to answer these questions realistically. Today's scenario is on gas prices. Let's say by August, the average price per gallon of gas goes to $8. And if you're in an area right now where gas is already $6 or $7, let's say for you it's $10. And we'll say end of July, mid-July, the month of July. What is your plan? Because I know a lot of people have already said that they wouldn't go to work. Well, if you don't go to work, how do you pay your bills? Unless you're in a position that you don't need to go to work, in which case, that's feasible. But I'm asking this question because, and again, I want to focus on things that could happen. I don't want to pontificate about what it would look like if a comet hit the Earth. I'm not interested in that. But this is something that we're facing. The last video we talked about in this series, you wake up in the morning and the power grid. You had no electricity. This one, it's gas. So by mid-August, gas prices are going to hit $10 if you're in an area where it's already $6 to $7, and it's going to hit $7, $8 if you're in an area where it's $4 to $5. What adjustments would you make? Again, you don't have to share everything. This is more for something you to think about. Maybe you could pull out a piece of paper, write down a plan for your family on how would y'all respond to this. How would y'all respond if this sort of thing happened? Because a lot of people, they live life and they go to the grocery store, 2 or 3 times a week. They traveling here, driving there, and they don't ever take into consideration what that would look like. Now, for some people, it wouldn't be anything because they could absolutely afford $10 a gallon for gas. It wouldn't be anything for them. And then there are others that it would affect. And that also has a great impact on, if gas is that high, then what is diesel prices? What, 12, 13 bucks? I'm just saying. And if diesel prices go that high, you have to also understand that if gas prices raise up and diesel prices raise up, that means the food in your grocery store is going to cost more money because diesel prices are higher. So it's an expounding effect. It's not just going to affect one thing as far as you jumping in your car and driving somewhere. It's going to drive prices up. It's going to drive, again, electricity prices up. Just something I want you to think about. How would you, have you looked at your finances and figured out, do you have, gosh, imagine adding another $3 a gallon to what you already pay, a gallon. So you got a 20-gallon tank. Just imagine it costs another $60 to fill up your gas tank. And let's say you fill up your gas tank 2 times a week for work. That's an extra $120. How many people have an extra $120 a week, $480 a month to put in your gas tank. You know, if we're talking those numbers, that's a 20 gallon tank. And you add in the fact that food prices are going to rise. You know, it's just something you gotta really ponder. So even if you don't put your answer here, which you don't have to, I'm not asking for you to do it. Sure, it's nice, it's helpful to others. You know, that's really what this is about, is helping others. But do you have a plan for you and your family? Do you have a way for you and your family to navigate that sort of situation? Anyways, that's a scenario, a simple one. I'll have another one later on this week. And these are just conversational pieces. I don't want to go too in depth in the details, although sometimes I will go deep into the details of a scenario. But this one's just a very simple one. Gas rises. Let's just say $3 to $4 in your area per gallon. $3 to $4 an area in your a gallon in your area. What is your plan? How do you navigate through that sort of situation? What does that look like for you and your family? Do you drive your children to school every single day? Have you taken a look at your finances? Because they're saying $10 gasoline already, so this is not too far-fetched. Which would be about a $3 rise for the average person. And then if it's $10, let's say in California, you're talking about $6, $7 out here. Oh yeah, that's going to affect people. That's going to put a strain on people's finances. People may have to make the decision of, well, you know what? It's time for me just to straight up move. I can't afford to live here. I can't afford to pay the gas and the rising electric bill and the rising food costs. I can't even afford to go to work. If I went to work, I'd be spending my first 3 hours at work, 3.5 hours at work, in just the fuel costs. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having to use 4 gallons of fuel a day to work at a job where you make $15 an hour? Isn't that amazing? You'd spend, what, $40 in gasoline and you make $15 an hour, so your first 3 hours at work are just fuel costs just for you to get to work. It's happening. It's happening right before your eyes. And these scenarios are just to have you and cause you to possibly think about what it would look like and what you would do. All right, I'm be interested to read your comments. Bless y'all. Shalom.